Athenian orator remarked that we have prostitutes for pleasure, concubines for daily physical needs, and wives to bear us legitimate children and be our faithful housekeepers. The growth of Greek democracy did not lead to greater equality between sexes. Women have few legal rights and are considered a lower-ranked class compared to men during ancient Greece. Male being the dominant ones, those left female with fewer rights on their marriages. Female even increasingly spend their lives in the confinement of the home. Spinning and weaving of cloth was true to all women despite their social status. Some city-states have more rights for women than others, such as women in Sparta have more rights than women in Athens.
Aristotle once said the male is by nature superior and female inferior. The one rules and the other is ruled. Ancient Greece was a time where men were favored. Once a woman was married, she was then under the male's control as she was not able to have her own full citizenship rights. In some cases, women even held a lower status than slaves since they, at most times, did not have their own freedom. But where women did have their own time was in religious festivals and rituals where they celebrated with other women. Alas, this was considered a very condemnatory act. With this being such a taboo act for women, it was sanctioned by law. As a result, women left their homes only to participate in more ongoing rituals in shrines. This began a widespread movement which provided women to strengthen and overthrow the norms of ancient Greek lifestyle.
Women's role in ancient Greek religion was full of contradictions. Art depicting women in myth often shows them in submission, while art depicting female religious workers in action shows them exercising what power was afforded them. According to historian Nigel Spivey, ancient Greek art in general celebrates the defeat of barbarism by civilization, and in ancient Greek culture, women fell under the category of barbarism. Two of the most common scenes for temple friezes, such as those from the temple of Apollo Epikourios, are the defeat of the Amazons by the Greeks and the defeat of the centaurs by the Lapiths. They show the defeat of chaotic, powerful women and the protection of submissive women from dangerous men, respectively. The message to women is clear: submit and be protected, or refuse to submit and be crushed. In contrast, religious service was one of the few ways for ancient Greek women to have any power. Vase paintings depict kenophoroi taking an active role in religious processions. You can see the baskets they used to carry objects that were needed for rituals. One of the most important women in the ancient Greek world was the oracle at Delphi. In this vase painting, the oracle, as the goddess Themis, is elevated above the king who is consulting her.
In the ancient world, art is the depiction of daily life. It emphasized the importance and the accomplishment for human beings, especially for men. According to the Greek myths, it justified male dominance in ancient society. Art depicts social structure, and we could see a clear division of labor between women and men. Some tasks were only performed by men, like animal sacrifice, or women, like weaving offerings of clothing. Besides, a lot of artwork was government-sponsored and was put out for public display. Though artwork displayed the Greek gods and goddesses in various forms including sculpture, fresco, and the pattern of an object, it was then seen as a source of pride for citizens. For example, the statue of Anthea Parthenos, which means maiden. It is a symbol of protecting the city and acts as a role model for women because of her chastity and her sensible manner of dress. As women have low social status in ancient Greece, both their daily life and their religious life highly depend on how much power is given by the society. However, there's always an exception. The priestesses have a relatively high social status than other women. We can infer that if any woman were depicted as holding temple keys or scepters in Greek art. Also, sculptures and reliefs adorning temples often show the defeat of barbarism by civilization. For example, the masterpiece of the Parthenon, it is recognized as a metaphor for the Median War and thus the triumph of the city of Antwerp. Overall, art had an important role in ancient Greece, since life in ancient Greece was closely linked with religion, and art often presents religiously. It was created as an allegory and it was a long-time influence in the society. By creating art, people became more worshipful to their leader and maintained union and harmony among society. And that was the ultimate reason for creating art.